Hello, basketball fans. The race for that continues on, and there's now 4 weeks even left in the NBA season, 28 days. And a lot has happened in the last week. So let's talk about what the playoff picture looks like entering the final 4 weeks of the season. In the Eastern Conference, the Detroit Pistons are still number one, even though they've lost a few games. The Boston Celtics still enjoying having Jason Tatum back. They're number two at 44 and 23, barely ahead of the New York Knicks at number three. The Cleveland Cavaliers are 41 and 27, sitting at the number four spot. But below that is a bit of a log jam between fifth and ninth. The Orlando Magic, who have been on a roll as of late, are at number five in the conference and leading the Southeast Division. They're overall in the conference. They're a half game ahead of the number six seeded Toronto Raptors. In the play-in picture, you have the Miami Heat at 38 and 30, the slumping Philadelphia 76ers at 37-31, and the Atlanta Hawks, who've won 9 straight, at 36 and 31. So it's basically 2.5 games separating 5 and 9. Charlotte Hornets are still at 10 at 34 and 34, a good bit ahead of the Milwaukee Bucks. And of course, as the picture shows, the Pistons have been clinched. Actually, no, they haven't. I'm getting my number one seeds mixed up. The Pistons did clinch a postseason spot this past week, as did the Celtics and the Knicks, but they're not officially in the actual playoffs yet. That's still to come. In the Western Conference, the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder are still standing tall with the number one spot with 53 wins. At 49 wins, the San Antonio Spurs are number two. And then the log jam still continues on between 3 and 6. The Lakers are at number 3 at 42 and 25. The Rockets are half game behind at number 4. And you have the Nuggets and Timberwolves both tied at 41 and 27. But a tiebreaker puts the Nuggets at 5 and the Timberwolves at 6. In the play-in picture, Phoenix Suns still hold the number 7 spot at 39 and 28. But there's another mini log jam below them between 8 and 10. The Clippers hold the 8th spot at 34 and 33. And below them, the Golden State Warriors at 32 and 35. And at 32 and 36 is the Portland Trailblazers at number 10. So you got a pair of log jams in that Western Conference. But that's pretty much going to be the top 10 because Portland has a big advantage over Memphis. Memphis is two way behind. They're probably going to be eliminated within the next 2 weeks. But and of course, the Lakers, Rockets, Nuggets, and Timberwolves all joined the postseason party this past week. So 9 teams are officially in the postseason, but no official playoff spots were clinched. Remember, a team has to finish in the top 6 in their respective conference to officially make the playoffs. Right now, the teams with PS clinch postseason. Those teams are sure that they'll at least play in the play-in, though it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that the top 6 in the West, that's going to stay that way, because I can't see Phoenix passing any of them. Of course, back to the Eastern Conference. Of course, if the season ended right now, it would be in one already set series. It would be the Knicks at 3 versus the Raptors at 6. And another series, it would be the Cavaliers at 4 versus the Magic at 5. Those 2 series would be set already. However, the other 2 would need the play-in to determine, as the Pistons and Celtics would be waiting for their opponents. The play-in tournament, if the season ended now, it would be the Heat hosting the Sixers in one game, and the Hawks host the Hornets in another. Of course, as I mentioned before, whoever wins 7 versus 8 would play the number 2 seed. In this case, it would be the Celtics. Now, whoever wins 9 versus 10 would play whoever loses 7 versus 8, and the winner of that game gets the number 8 seed and plays the number 1. In this case, it would be Detroit. Same applies in the Western Conference. If the season ended right now, it would be the Lakers at number 3 against the Timberwolves at number 6 in one series. That was a first round series last year. and it would be the Rockets at number 4 against the Nuggets at number 5 in another series. The Spurs and the Thunder and Spurs would be waiting for their opponents, and the play-in tournament would determine that. Again, if the season ended right now, it would be the Suns hosting the Clippers in one game, and it would be the Warriors hosting the Trailblazers in another game. Of course, again, whoever wins 7 versus 8 gets the 7th seed and would play against the number 2. In this case, would be San Antonio. And whoever wins 9 versus 10 would play against whoever loses 7 versus 8, and whoever wins that game would get the number 8 seed and face number 1, which would be the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's the format that's been in place since the 2020-2021 season. And I just want to say before I end this is a great period to be a basketball fan. It's not just pro ball coming to the wire, but of course, college hoops has March Madness. The conference tournaments are over, and the overall big dance starts tomorrow with the first four they call it, the first 4 like play-in games to fill out the 64 team bracket. So it's a 68 team bracket. But the first 2 games play tomorrow, and the next 2 play Wednesday, and then on Thursday it's all day college basketball. It's pretty much all day. It'll be all day college basketball from Thursday on to Sunday. So yeah, so it's a pretty good time to be a basketball fan. College basketball is beginning the quest to crown a champion, and of course the NBA's home stretch is continuing on. And I do expect some teams to clinch official playoff spots for the next week, especially Oklahoma, because they're like this close. So it's going to be interesting. So that is my recap of the NBA playoff picture at this point. If you like this video, click the like button. If you're on YouTube, click subscribe if you want more. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, feel free to hit that follow button. And the link above, that's my story on Vocal about the NBA playoff picture. Check it out where you can. And when it comes to the NBA, it'll be this time next week for another recap. Stay tuned.